You have a degree in literature or English, right?
Yeah, I got a degree from Washington State University.
And also you early on were interested in visual arts?
Yeah, when I was a kid, that was what I did all the time. I drew pictures. I particularly loved portraiture and charcoal. So,
do you see this as a transition from like literature to visual arts to music, or are you still interested in all three, basically?
I'm still interested in all three. I feel like they all work together. It's the same thing to me. It's all art to me, and I definitely sort of put visual art on the back burner while I focused on music. For the last decade, it's been music ahead of visual art. But I still, have dreams of like setting up all my artwork in a cafe and playing all my songs and like selling the works with my CDs and stuff. So I still want to use that and integrate it somehow and make T-shirts and everything. So.
You did a great charcoal drawing of a cowboy, I think, a few years ago.
I gave that one away to a charity. But yeah, I definitely want to find a way to use it and
all to express
do something.
The same artistic vision, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't help but do those things. It just is in me to do that.
Excellent. When did you first perform music for someone other than your family?
Let's see. It was probably church. I used to play music in church a lot when I was a kid. And I played music for church up until I was in college. So my first, I would guess, though I can't remember, I would guess it was probably church.
I noticed just in the names of some of your albums, you have Chrysalis and you have Awakening.
Yeah.
Kind of a common maturing theme or
Sure.
theme of change.
Yeah.
How does that relate to your music in general? That theme?
It was definitely intentional. I felt like Chrysalis, my first EP was I needed something out there. I needed to prove to myself that I was serious about it, and actually one of the songs, Love You Still, on that first EP was what caught the ear of Dylan Fant, who then has done my other projects with me. And I called it Chrysalis because I felt like it was, even though my sound hasn't really changed all that much, it was a huge departure in terms of my maturity in writing and in performing. And I mean, the first year that I moved to Seattle, I played like over 100 shows. And before, I was just like emotionally crippled by stage fright. And so it definitely was, a maturation over time. And not just performance-wise, but in my writing and just like, I don't know, learning more about myself.
So, related to your professional life?
Yeah.
Primarily? Okay.
Well, I feel like it can't really be separated to me. Or like I was maturing emotionally and learning things about myself, and it's gonna show up in all aspects of my life to me, so.
Sure. Would you think it's still the theme of some of your music today?
The Chrysalis theme, and definitely. I mean, it's still, Animal Dreams is still in that vein, in terms of the title, I mean.
Sure.
It was the Chrysalis, it was Awakening. It's like, this animal coming to life. And that's definitely what I was going for and what I think is still happening. And I hope always happens. I hope I'm always learning new things and exploring new things.
You mentioned stage fright.
Yeah.
Are you over that?
No, I'm not over it. I still have pretty bad nerves most every show, which I think is okay as long as it's not interfering with the performance,
Sure. What I've seen online doesn't show at all.
People tell me that, but it's, I'm pacing in the back room or, having mild anxiety attacks.
I think everybody does. Can I ask you about a few songs?
Sure.
The Red West.
The Red West.
I like that song.
Thank you. My dad likes that song too.
See, we have something.
That was a song, the music I'd actually written when I was about 15 or 16 years old. I don't actually know how to play the piano, but I love it. And
you were playing the piano.
I was playing the piano for that song.
Quite well.
That's because I played that little ditty thing for like a decade before I wrote anything to it. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, for some reason, songs don't always want to come out when you want them to, and I could never find the right lyrics for that song. But when I, was in the studio with Dylan, it just felt like the right time to use it. And I've actually never played that song live before because I've never dragged a piano up on stage just for the one song.
It has a slight religious.
Sure, I feel like that's definitely been a part of my life, and though things have changed, it still runs deep, and so I feel like it's going to surface every once in a while in some of the songs that I write.
Because another song that I liked a lot was Hannah's Hymn.
Yeah, it was written for my grandmother, my mom's mom, and it was based on a poem that I'd written in college for a series that I'd been assigned actually to pick, and I picked the role of identity and heritage, and I was just, because I didn't really know her very well. She lived in Ireland, and but I knew that she was religious and that she prayed for me, and that's what the song's about, is about her and her very firmly held beliefs, and I was just wondering what kind of impact that had on my life, if any.
Irish Catholic.
She's not Catholic.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, but it's a beautiful song.
Thank you.
Hallelujah, another religious.
Yeah, that one also was based on a dream that I had. I did actually, that song's very true. I did dream about my father and I in a chapel and seeing God, or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, that's a dream-based song as well. I dream a lot. Like, I dream vividly, and I remember them very clearly in the morning. So that's where that came from also.
What's the story with rose-colored lenses?
Rose-colored lenses. That's a darker song too. It's just, it's, I guess, the bass line is just figuring out things for yourself, and waking up. And reality's hard sometimes, and that's what that song's about.
Yeah. So 10 years from now, where do you see yourself? And
I think that I would really like to collaborate more. Like, all these songs, I didn't co-write, I wrote them myself, obviously with Dylan's input, but I would like to be writing songs for other artists. It's not a put down to myself or anything, but I don't actually consider myself a vocalist or a performer. It's like, I very much love the studio work, and I would love for my work to have a broader, just to be more broad, and to be involved with more projects and other people's projects and stuff like that. So I'd love to be a co-writer. I'd love to, give a song to Carrie Underwood or Keith Urban or something,
So is it music to the end?
No, totally. Yeah, it's not a phase for me. It's I'm in it, and I have been in it, and I've invested way too much to just let it go. It's a part of me, and whether I continue to play publicly, which I hope is for a long time, I'll always be writing songs at home and playing guitar and discovering new music.